Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be reading some uh what am I doing again? I am going to be looking into the r/am I the arsehole subreddit, specifically K-pop edition. So let's just get straight into it. Am I the asshole for breaking up with my girlfriend over her extreme love of K-pop? Well, this is a hard one, actually. I don't know. It can go two ways, really. I don't think so. I guess let's just read it. This happened just a few hours ago between me, 18 male, and my girlfriend, 18 female. We have been dating fairly seriously for over a month at this point. We were on the topic of her favorite K-pop artist, which I don't care for K-pop whatsoever, but I try my best to pay attention. Jung Young-hwa. I'm not sure who that is. Maybe I'll look them up after. They're probably super famous, I don't know. As usual, she's completely fangirling over him, which bothers me a little bit, but I can understand where she's coming from. In general, she's very complimentary towards me. Every now and then I'll get a "you look nice" or "you're really funny." However, when talking about this guy, she's completely balls to the walls. It's just a constant stream of "he's so talented, sexy, hot, funny, sweet, etc." Keeping in mind, she has never met this guy or been to one of his concerts, only through listening to his albums and liking every single one of his posts on Instagram. She went back a few years and liked every single one forward from there. She is currently saving money to get a tattoo of his name on her chest. Now, some of you might have your "you're the asshole" typed out already, but I am actually okay with all of the above, including the tattoo. What she said today is what caused me to lash out. She said, nothing could keep me from going to his concert in Korea in November. I laughed and played along, making up some stupid circumstances, all of which she said she wouldn't care and wouldn't hesitate to go to his concert. Then, making an obvious mistake, I said, "What if I was in the hospital? As in, seriously sick. Would you still go?" I did not expect the next answer at all, mainly because there wasn't one. She just stared at me awkwardly for a few minutes and then said, "Do you expect me to lie?" I spent a few minutes confirming she was completely serious, which she was. She left me completely heartbroken. At this time, I swiftly called her a complete psycho and cut the relationship off. Was I the asshole there? I think this is a hard one, honestly. I would say no, but also yes. I mean, I don't know, because as someone that does love K-pop, I understand her obsession quite a bit, actually. But I don't know, saying that you wouldn't go to the hospital to see someone that you claim that you love who is seriously sick, and you would go to a concert. I don't know. That does seem a bit extreme. However, my other conflicting thought is the fact that you shouldn't have asked. I mean, clearly, if you're already asking this question, you already know the answer. I mean, this is a question that speaks more, it has more validity than what the actual answer is. If you're even having to ask this question, you already know what the response would be like. Like, you would already know the answer. So I feel like this person already knew what the girlfriend would say. But then again, I feel like, because on this post it says not the arsehole. I do see the not the arsehole verdict, but I would say maybe everybody sucks. Or I don't know, maybe everybody sucks, because personally I don't see why you would need to ask the question if you're secure in the relationship. But also, she didn't need to answer, you know? Like, I don't know, it's just hard to explain. I feel like I'm just rambling. Maybe let's just go to the comments. Maybe that will change my mind and maybe make my thoughts a bit more clear. Not the arsehole. I'm sorry, but there is a difference between fangirling over someone to your boyfriend and being completely obsessed with someone. She is obsessed with this dude to the point where if you were sick in the hospital, she'd go to the concert. I don't blame you for calling her out on this, because at first you went along with it until she started getting really creepy about it. Yes, she's still young, but even as a younger person, I'm not that obsessed with a superstar to the point where I would leave my boyfriend in the hospital to go to his concert. That, I do agree with that, but also I just, yeah, I do agree with it. I can also see why you're calling her out, for lack of better words, but I feel like this is something that you should have discussed. I mean, you say that you make it sound like you're not insecure about her obsession with this K-pop artist. But to ask that question, I feel like you're kind of lying to yourself. Like, I feel like to ask that question, you would have to be insecure enough, because you're hoping for a different answer than the one she gave. Because I feel like you are upset with the answer that she gave, so I don't know. I don't think my thoughts are that clear right now. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. I'll see what, like, other people say. Not the arsehole. I'll preface this by saying you are not the arsehole for breaking up with someone for any reason. Of course, yeah. You're not the arsehole for breaking up. Like, you don't even need a reason to break up. For any reason that makes you uncomfortable. Anyway, she's fucking obsessed. She's giving some fantasy more attention than the person she supposedly loves and cares about. Being a fan is not being literally obsessed. Her behavior is actually kind of disturbing. I agree with some parts and not others. I don't think it's that disturbing. Like, I don't think it's disturbing. I think it's quite normal to love an artist that much. I mean, you see a lot of, like, BTS fans. Like, I can see a lot of BTS fans being like this. Or I can see a lot of Taylor Swift fans, probably. Like, I've seen a lot of Taylor Swift fans who act like this. It's just normal. It's just a parasocial relationship. Like, I feel like it is normal. But what isn't normal is saying that you would not visit your loved one in the hospital because there's a concert happening. Like, I don't think that is normal. But, like, getting a tattoo of an artist, like getting a tattoo of an artist, I think is quite normal. Like, I have a Stray Kids tattoo right here. So, like, maybe I'm just a bit biased, but, like, maybe I'm biased, I don't know. But I definitely think she could have easily not answered the question. Let me see if there's an edit. Okay, there is an edit to this. While this blew up, I want to clarify some things because it seems like a lot of comments here are following the same logic. First, this concert doesn't even exist yet. She doesn't have tickets. She's just assuming that he'll have this big fancy concert once he's back from the military and that it will be unmissable. In the argument between us, she claimed that because he is just back from the military, it makes the concert somehow different. Just a normal concert would be worth missing to stay with me. Secondly, I asked this question in a completely joking manner. Things had been going extremely well between us, and it didn't even cross my mind that she would answer this way. I was literally laughing as I asked her this question, and in my mind I was simply teasing the fact that nothing could stop her, and this circumstance just popped into my head. At the time, I had full 100% confidence that she would be like, okay, almost nothing can stop me, or whatever. I had no intentions of making a choose between me and him, because to be honest, I know I would lose that battle 100 times out of 100. Okay, well, I do think that changes things a little bit. If it truly was a joke question, yeah, I do think that it's like you're not the asshole, but I don't. Maybe I'll change it to you're not the asshole. I do think it was a weird question to ask, even if it was a joke. But that being said, the way she went about answering the question, I think, was worse. So I'm gonna change it to you're not the asshole. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased because I love K-pop and I would say I'm obsessed with some artists. So maybe I'm just biased. Am I the asshole for accidentally saying something slightly racist about a K-pop band? This one again can go two ways. I'm not gonna say anything, I'll just keep reading first. I'll say my thoughts at the end. First off, I'm definitely not implying that anyone else would be the arsehole in the situation. So it's kind of you're the arsehole versus not the arsehole. I, 18 female, recently finished my first year of university and made a new friend group with 2 Indian girls and an Indian guy. Both of the girls really like BTS, and one of them has a poster of them on her wall. I'm not interested in BTS for 2 reasons. A, I like to know all the lyrics and sing along in my head when I listen to music, so I only listen to music in English. Yeah, I know parts of a lot of their songs have some English, but I also don't really like those lyrics. And B, I'm usually not a fan of pop in general. We were in the girl with the posters room and talking about BTS. At one point, we were talking about the poster, and she asked me who I thought was the hottest. I looked at the poster for a couple of seconds. Without thinking, I said, they all look the same. Instantly regretted it. I know this is a very common stereotype for East Asian people, and I really don't want to be contributing to it. I'm white. I could tell by the look on their faces I'd said something low-key offensive, but as I told them, I'd never seen BTS other than this poster, and I'm not that good with faces. Hold on. Wait, I'll turn the light on before I say my thoughts. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Before I was like a big K-pop fan, I did actually think this way too. Not in a racial way, like not in like the all East Asian people look the same, but in the way that like a lot of K-pop companies, they want to make everyone look uniformed, I guess, or kind of like the same. So like I know in earlier like BTS songs and stuff, a lot of them had the same haircut or like similar outfits. They're all kind of similar height. Like they all looked very similar, I guess. Like, obviously they have different features, but I can honestly understand that. But I don't know. The way she said it looked. I mean, she could have said it differently, I guess. Well, wait, what did she ask? She said, at one point we were talking about the poster and she asked me who I thought was the hottest. I mean, there are better ways to answer the question. You could say something like, I think they're all hot. Or you could have asked, like, could you tell me something about all of these people? You know, like, let me know more about it so I can make a decision. I mean, I get that you say it without thinking, but I definitely think there could have been other ways to do it. Like, there could be other ways to say the same thing without sounding racist. But I don't know, like, to me, OP doesn't come across as a racist person. Like, this post doesn't scream racism. I just think it's someone who maybe isn't as educated in K-pop, which I can understand. But I can also understand how, like, as a K-pop fan, you do get that quite a lot. You do get that a lot of people will say something along the lines of, they all look the same, or like, I can't tell them apart. I do understand that as well, and a lot of that does come from racism, but I don't know if this OP comes from racism. I genuinely have no idea. I think probably not the arsehole, though. That's just my verdict. I mean, if you disagree, tell me in the comments. I'd actually love to hear your opinions on this. I'm gonna look at the top comment. Not the arsehole. They all kind of look the same to me. I'm Southeast Asian. I mean, I can see that. Yeah. I think it's just the idea that in a lot of East Asian countries, it's quite common for people to look uniformed, and look the same. Like, it's not as common to want to stand out, especially in a group. So I can see how, if everyone has the same haircut or follow the same clothing trends or same makeup trends, I can see how everyone would look the same. But that doesn't come from racism. That just comes from everyone dressing the same way or putting themselves together the same way. So I don't know. I think it, like, probably need more information, maybe. You're the arsehole. But she asked, so I don't blame you too much. But yeah, crappy word choice. As a fan, I get if someone doesn't recognize the difference in members easily. It comes with the territory. I recognize the arseholes when they start defending why they said it, then follow that up with they all look like girls too. At least you knew it was crappy and to never say it again. Yeah, I can see that. I also do know a lot of people that have said they all look like girls. I don't think it was the nicest thing to say, and like I said, I do think there could have been a better way to say it. But at least this OP recognizes that it wasn't okay to say. I would say, to rectify the situation, just apologize. If you haven't already, just like apologize and maybe explain why, and maybe just like get them to explain a bit more about BTS. Personally, I'm not an ARMY, so I don't know much about BTS, but I do know enough to recognize the differences. But yeah, I don't know a lot either. So if someone was talking about BTS, I would ask them questions, like in a regular conversation, I would ask them questions to get to know them more. Let me see. Oh, there's an edit. When I say not that good with faces, I mean really bad with faces. I work in a deli and very regularly have people order sliced meat and step away, and 30 seconds later I'll forget what they look like and who the fuck this meat is for. I might be digging myself into more of a hole here, but honestly, most people look the same. Honestly, as someone that works in fast food, I can relate to this so hard. I can relate to this a lot. I think, yeah, I'm terrible with faces too. Like, it doesn't matter about race. I'm just terrible with forgetting what people look like. So do understand this. Thank you for watching. It's actually getting pretty late out right now, so you can barely see me. But yeah, thank you for watching. And if you want to give me your input on any of these stories, I would actually really love to hear your verdicts and your opinions with anything I said. And if you disagreed, I would actually love to hear why. So if you could do that, that would mean a lot. Yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.